If you've been in business long enough, you can feel it before you see it on a spreadsheet. Deals are closing, but slower. Decision makers are hesitating. Budgets are getting revisited instead of approved. Nothing's broken, but something is changing. And right now, I'm watching experienced businesses, the ones who don't chase trends, quietly position themselves for government and disaster work. Not because they're desperate, but because they're disciplined. If you've been running a real business for a while, you don't need a headline to tell you something's shifting. Private sector work is still there, but timelines are stretching, approvals are stacking, and certainty isn't what it used to be. In conversations with operators who've been delivering for 10 to 15, 20 years, I hear the same thing. We're fine, but we're not assuming the next few years will look like the last few years. What I'm seeing isn't a rush, it's a quiet move, where established businesses are positioning for government contracts. Not because they want to change, but they're not pivoting and they're not abandoning their core clients, just creating another lane. And that distinction really matters, because that isn't about reacting to new cycles. It's about understanding where money continues to move when the private market tightens, and how experienced operators manage risk without panic. Government contracts aren't new. What's changing is paying attention. These aren't beginners looking for their first win. These are firms with teams, with systems, with delivery history, and they're realizing something very important. Public sector work doesn't reward novelty. It rewards reliability, especially in disaster-related contracts. Now, when something goes wrong, the government isn't looking for clever. They're looking for vendors who can mobilize, who can document, who can comply, invoice cleanly, and stay operational under pressure. And that's why you'll see contracts start at a few $100,000 and quietly turn into multi-million-dollar task orders over time. Not because someone hacked the system, but because they were already capable when the need showed up. One that I hear is, sometimes I hear and said, I don't have time for this. If you think this is about learning a whole new business, you don't have the time. But experienced firms eventually realize that this is mostly about translation, not transformation. If you already deliver logistics, construction, IT staffing, facilities, or professional services, the government already buys what you do. The difference is structure, not capability. Another concern is this feels complicated. And it's formal, there's paperwork and there are rules, sure. But if you've dealt with enterprise clients, audits, regulated environments, or insurance-heavy work, this isn't foreign, it's just explicit. And there's timing. I think I missed it. Well, disaster and emergency funding moves in waves, okay? So first is there's an initial response, and then stabilization, then recovery, rebuild, oversight. And most people only notice the first wave. Experienced operators position for the second, for the third, where timelines are clearer, contracts are larger, and far fewer vendors are still paying attention. I also hear this isn't my industry, Melinda. I've seen marketing firms support public health campaigns, logistics companies handle emergency supply chains, IT firms manage system recovery, professional services run compliance and reporting. The better question isn't whether this is your industry, it's whether the government already buys what you sell. And finally, I don't want this to disrupt my business, I hear. It shouldn't. The firms that do this well treat government work as a parallel lane, not a replacement. They're selective. They protect their core operations. They prioritize contracts that stabilize cash flow, not ones that stretch their teams thin. No. There's also a reality we don't need to overstate. You see, public sector work exists because communities are dealing with real problems. This isn't abstract, it's an infrastructure, housing, logistics, and recovery, and so many other things. Experienced businesses are often the ones best equipped to do this work well. So who is this actually for? Well, this is for established service-based businesses that already know how to deliver, manage teams, stay accountable, and want optionality without chaos. If this is on your radar, here's the move. This is what I would suggest. Don't chase the next announcement. Don't wait for urgency. Position while things are quiet. And if you want a clear, honest assessment of whether this fits your business and how to approach it without disrupting what you've already built, you can apply to work with me. I only work with experienced operators, and only when there's a strategic reason to do so. If that's you, the link is below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.